So, okay, so most athletes train hard, but few train specifically, right? Now, for what actually makes them great in school and sport and leadership? Well, today I'm going to show you how specificity creates complete student athletes. All right. And just in case for you that all that might be new, my name is Coach Ronnie. I'm a strength conditioning coach. I've been in the game for 20 years, worked in pro baseball where I helped athletes get stronger, faster, quicker, stay healthy. And I do that for you guys today. But with a little twist, I added the mind to it. All right. The term complete athletes comes from developing a complete athlete, an athlete that trains the mind and body as one. Everybody understands the importance of travel, of getting stronger, getting faster, minimizing injuries 100%. But rarely is the mental side addressed. And that's what we do here. And that's how we create complete athletes. All right. So let's dive right in. So, why specificity matters? I have some stats for you right here. Listen to this. Students who dedicate focus, distraction free study blocks perform 20 to 25 better on tests than those who multitask. All right. Say that again. We're talking about being specific, right? Students who dedicate focus, distraction free study blocks perform 20 to 25% better on tests than those who multitask, all right? So, being specific, we've been told how the brain, how women are supposed to be able to multitask and men aren't supposed to be able to multitask. I'm not sure if that's true, but there's studies that say when you're focused and locked in, your performance is enhanced, be it physical, be it mental. All right. So now we're going to look at it from the athletic perspective. All right. So research shows sprint performance improves 2 to 3 times uh, faster when drills mimic game speed, angles, and distance specificity compared to general conditioning. Now, performance training is a little different because there's a time and a phase for all of that. All right, the time early in the year we're going general because that's at the point where what's going on fire sports. What's going on with you? Thanks for stopping by. We're talking specificity for student athlete. Emmanuel, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for stopping by. Come on in. We're talking specificity for athletes. So going back to specificity for performance training, there's everything's in phases or blocks we like to call them. So when you're first starting your training program at the strength conditioning level, should say fitness as well, you're training generally because you want to generally prepare your body for the challenges and the traumas that's gonna come down the road. Now, the closer you get to the season, that's when you get more specific. All right. So I gave an example. As we approach the ceiling, we're going to back off on our work volume, right, and be more specific with our movements, with less volume. All right, because the focus is no longer in the weight room. The focus is now on the field or court, and it's about that performance. All right. So back off in the weight room, get more specific, but back off in the weight room and the volume. All right. So that's how we handle that. So understand, yes, it's good to be specific from a performance standpoint, but you still need to train general, and it's all a progression. All right. So now listen to this. This is what it's all about for me. If you're a student athlete, a lot of times your resume is going to go to the top of the list, the top of the stack of resumes because you showed the discipline, right? You showed the competitiveness. You showed a lot of the qualities that these Fortune 500 successful companies look for, right? Let's check this out. So 71% of employers rank leadership skills as the number one trait they look for in student athletes transitioning from college to jobs. Again, yes, you've shown your potential as with the discipline and the competitiveness, but they still want leaders. All right, they still want leadership skills, and that's something you acquire when you take on such qualities as being specific with certain aspects of your game, academic game, and your performance, right? So got that down. Now the three specificity in three areas. Areas. I can't even talk. Vin, what's going on, Vin? Who we have here? Sean, what's going on, Sean? Who else we have? Amanda, Man, Lauren, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for stopping by. Now we're looking at specificities in three areas. Academics. So instead of studying everything, right, tailor study blocks to upcoming assignments. All right. So, tailor it toward upcoming assignments, tailor it toward specific subjects, right? But um, do not just attack everything at once. All right. Be specific. When you're specific, we talk about micro wins. All right. When you are specific about something, you address it properly, and on the backside, you receive the results of the good grades. That's going to build your confidence, right? Each time you're a little bit more specific about studying for your math, a block of math, a block of science, a block of social studies, whatever it is, you accomplish that alone. That's going to give you a small micro win. All right. When you're being that more intentional, that's a win. Most people, if they're going to study, they're going to study in general, just attack a little bit of everything and really not do it in blocks. They're just going to do it, make sure they touch every subject and move on, right? When you're being specific, you're saying, I'm going to do this for a half an hour. I'm going to study math for a half an hour. Accomplish that. Okay, boom. Yeah. Okay, let's move to science for 45 minutes. Boom. Yeah. Okay, let's move to social studies over here. Another 45. Boom. That is being, you improved in those three specific subjects because of the time you put in. All right. You kind of just not throw things to the wall when you study for all topics, but it's definitely not as focused. All right. And you will feel accomplished, but it's not the same as knowing I dedicated X amount of time specifically to these subjects that I needed to address. General, in general, specificity always wins, no matter what the topic. All right. So athletic performance, train the movements and energy systems you'll use in your sports. All right, that kind of goes back to what I was saying previously. You're going to do that. And first of all, let me say this: in a strength conditioning setting, high school, not middle school, high school and up, most like in a lot of situations you're going to have a strength coach or even some of your coaches running these programs. All right, but when you're alone by yourself, train the movements that mimic the game when it's appropriate. Right, I mentioned that before. We go from general to specific. Train those general, change those specific movements, right, in the specific energy system. We have ATP, that's the energy system. We have glycogen, that's an energy system. Then we have oxygen, which is an energy system. Football would be ATP. That's going to be doing short, explosive sprints, right? And then taking rest in between and doing full sprints, all right? Something like basketball, that's going to be glycogen. And something like cross country, that's going to be oxygen. Those are the different energy systems or the fuels that you use with these energy systems, all right? So, athletic performance, again, train the body and energy systems you'll use in a sport. IG for football, you're going to do the sprints, rest, that type of thing to mimic what you'll be doing on the field, right? So now we have to add in leadership. Let's incorporate leadership, right? Don't just be vocal as a leader, right? Use Be sports specific with your when you're being vocal, when you're communicating with your guys. Try to be specific to the situation. All right, you know, be a guy to call a huddle with authority. Be the guy to lead drills. All right, you know, setting up team study sessions. Those are leadership qualities. All right, and those are leadership qualities that start from the field and cross over into academics. When you're doing everything from starting, being the guy to initiate a study hall, all the way to being the guy to lead a drill, lead conditioning, calling, starting up a huddle. It can be a football huddle, traditional huddle, what we're thinking of, or just pulling everybody in a dugout during basketball, during baseball, pulling everybody together on the bench during basketball, whatever it is. Be that leader, right? Be that leader, and make it specific to that sports situation, right? So, quick and to the point, all right? So, first of all, if you're people that are here, give me a 1 if you're finding value in this. The value of being specific. Drop a 1 in the comments for me if you're getting value for this. Being specific academically and performance wise. Drop that 1 in the comments, all right? And I wanted to get that done. And okay, who we have? John, Fernando. What's going on with you, John? We got four Caven in the building. What's going on? Is that the Caven? Andrew Leonard, what's good with you? Long time no see. Long time no see. Who else we have? Love today. Love take the 2K day. Die. My bad if I got that wrong. Thanks for stopping by. Who we have? May. That's a long one. I'm just gonna call you May. What's going on, May? Andrew Leonard, John. Yes, sir. Andrew Leonard in the building. What's up, man? I'm chilling, man. I'm all good. How about you? Let me know how you doing. Amen. Thanks for rolling in. Thanks for rolling in. All right. Now, I appreciate you stopping by. I want to update y'all. We're talking about specificity. Hey, man, hey. We're talking about specificity as it relates to student athletes. And we broke it down to three different categories. Obviously academic, obviously performance, but leadership. Leadership is a very important aspect. I'm doing good. Good to hear. Good to hear. Leadership is a very important aspect, right, of the student athlete that is important during that time as a student athlete, but also transcends to life when you're transitioning from the athletic world to the workforce, right? So, at the end of all my lives, I give you two actionable activities, two things you can do right now to improve. Pen and pad out, ear pods out, listen up. Here we go. Academic specificity drills. All right. 10-10-10 rule. Check it out. 10-minute review of notes. Review your notes for 10 minutes. All right. 10 minutes, practice your problems. All right. Practice whatever problems you have. This sounds a little specific to math. Practice your math problem. All right. And 10-minute, any problems, but I just, math came to mind. And then we have 10 minutes, summarize key points out loud. Train your focus, train your recall and clarity under time, right? Just like a practice, just like practice, keep it like a rep, similar to reps on the field or on the court. 10 minutes. What's going on, Stephen? An athlete day 100 miles an hour. Coach, athlete day 110 miles an hour. Is that a pitcher? Because that's letting it go. If you're a pitcher like that, I know. Yo, poquito, español. Coach, a coach of 100 miles an hour. I'm not sure about the 100 miles an hour. All right, but let's go. We'll get back to that. So again, what's that? Chicoin Jonathan. How do I pronounce that? Could you write that down in the comments? I don't want to jack that up. To be safe, I'm just going to go with Jonathan. And thanks for stopping by, Jonathan. We're talking about specificity as it relates to student athletes. All right. And we're at the actionable activities part. That means I give people two activities they can do today to improve. In this case, we're talking about improving specificity. All right. What's that? Fly away vacations, Torrey, Mississippi. Hey, thanks for stopping by. We're talking about specificity for student athletes. I'm giving my two actionable activities. All right. Number one, we'll go back to it, the 10-10-10 rule. 100 meters. Okay, got you. 100 meters. Got you. 10-10-10 rule. 10 minutes. We're talking about academic specificity. 10-minute review of your notes. 10-minute problem solving. 10 minutes summarize key points out loud. I can deal with recalling certain aspects of recalling things, recalling your notes, clarity when it's appropriate, when it's needed. Treat this like a practice. All right. So let's talk about athletic specificity. We talked about this earlier, right? For a lot of sports, you can't go wrong with this. 5 times 10-yard sprints. All right. But here's a twist. Not just regular sprints. I want you to start in a sports-specific position. In other words, it's a simple one. If you're a baseball player, right, you're not going to start in a regular sprinting position. You're going to start in a baseball start, all right? If you're a football player, if you're a wideout, you're going to start in the sprinter, the wideout position, the wideout foot stance or whatever. You want to start in that position. Right? Soccer player, you want to start in random positions because that's how it works in the game. But the bottom line is you're going to do 5 to 10 sprints from a sport-specific stance. All right? All right. You want to do full rest in between reps, right? To imitate so you can have that true game explosiveness. So want to go 5 to 10 sprints, full rest. When it's time to go, you're ready to go. All right. And because here's the thing you have to learn about speed training. If you want to run at max velocity, you have to train at max velocity. If you're not taking the appropriate rest, you're not going to be able to run at max velocity, period. Right? That's something that's super important, especially for my younger athletes. You guys want to go, 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 ignore the rest. No, to get the results you want, we have to take full rest so we can maintain our explosiveness. I talked about the fuel that we have earlier, the ATP, glycogen, the oxygen. These short sprints are ATP related. To get to your ATP levels back to 80%, not 100%, 80%, you need to rest for 5 to 8 minutes. All right, 5 to 8 minutes for 80%. So when I say take full rest, I mean take full rest in between. All right. So let's summarize that up one more time. I could two actionable activities. Two actionable activities. All right. Stopwatch going off. 10-minute review of your notes. 10 minutes practice problems. 10 minutes summarize key points out loud. All right. So athletically, want to go with 5, 10 yard sport specific bursts. You're going to line up in your sport specific position and you're going to do those bursts or sprints with full rest in between sprints. All right. So that is it. Let's see who else rolled in. Jay Dizzy, smooth name. Jay Dizzy's in the building. Now, is this Jose in the building? Cyclone. Thanks for stopping by again, my man. Thanks for stopping by. Through the Roof. Oh, that's a cool name. I like that. Through the Roof. All right. We have May. I'm gonna call you May. That's a long one. May, you run the 100 meters. Run the 100-meter hurdles. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Where are you located, May? Let me know where you're calling from. I'm about to close this thing out, folks. Let's go ahead and do this. So, um, again, if you found value in this information, drop a 1 in the comments, number 1. So, as far as closing things out, now, if you want more information on how to become a complete athlete, more on specificity, DM me the word complete. DM me the word complete. I will show you how to become a complete athlete where we address the physical, we address the mental, we address specificity with my integrated athletic enhancement program. All right, it's an 8-week course. It'll get you on track to be the athlete that coaches and scouts desire, as you will be the only complete athlete. Again, DM me the word complete. And that's all I have.